Holy fire. That's the energy that I see for us at the moment. Susie Kennedy here with some insight and inspiration for July 2026. I want to call it the month of the in-between. It feels as though we are going into a period where we're letting go of an identity that we may have carried or an identity that's been given to us by others. We're letting go of it. And so many of us, it's a bit like a chameleon, we're changing. My sense is we're in a deep, 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 fiery energy of holy transformation. And it isn't easy. Transformation is never easy. And this year certainly has been one of the most tumultuous ones that I've seen for a long, long time. So this month of the in-between, July, it's about there's 5 major themes that I'm seeing. So the first one is us outgrowing an identity that we've had, us feeling maybe stripped bare, not knowing what the new identity actually is, but looking at our own patterns and our own skills and our qualities and saying, what are we living this life this way for? Who are we really? And what has the past intense period of time taught us about who we are and how we want to live? So we're stepping into the new, but because we don't really know what the new is, we're kind of in the corridor. It's like the door has firmly closed, by the way, on this last period for all of us. Even though you may feel like your life's going along just the way it has been, there will be so many parts of your being that have shifted perspective and shifted frequency. So naturally, when this happens, there is maybe a feeling of uncomfortableness, a feeling of, oh, I know something's happening, but I really just don't know what it is. So definitely a stepping into the new. Doors closed, the door's there in front of us, but it hasn't opened yet for many of you. And so you'll be in the corridor and potentially wondering what the changes are that are coming for you. But because we're going into July and it's kind of like halfway through the month, this very Cancerian energy of water and flow, my sense is it's a period, the second theme for the month is less forcing, more allowing. So not feeling that, you've got to be journaling or, meditating or doing, but rather just allowing yourself to be in the stillness, and that the stillness isn't stagnation. It's a time when there is regeneration, when there is, an incubation of ideas, seeds growing, things that you've been thinking about, mulling over, but losing the urge, I guess, in a way to be constantly busy. So very much a pause, allow the flow, and notice where that part of you may want to seize the reins. And I had a vision of the Chariot card, and the Chariot card in the tarot has got 2 horses, a black one and a white one. And for any journey to go smoothly, both horses need to go in the same direction. Otherwise, you're going like this. But in the vision, both horses were going a bit like that, and they were just grazing. And it was kind of saying, it's time to rest. There is no journey to go on. The journey is stillness. The journey is less, forcing. And the third theme is actually the wisdom in the emptiness, because there will be insights and revelations that you have. And those insights and revelations will just pop in. And especially if you look at what you've experienced in particularly the last 6 months. So whatever has been going on in your world that has been intense, triggering, sometimes it can be exciting as well. But from the experiences that you've had, you're going to get the revelations, your pieces of puzzle that need to be observed and known and integrated, so you can move through this 1 year, that is revolutionary. It's a year where we're trying to set ourselves up for this next 9-year period. in a way like we've never experienced life before. Because we've had so much instability in this first 6 months, we've had political instability with, globally with wars, locally in Australia with our politics, and the blatant changes where people, the elected government said we're not going to do this, and now we are. So the themes in that are things like that cause instability are the incorrect use of power. It's where people have power and we trust them, and then they kind of do things that are unexpected, or do things that we think, wow, I didn't think that was possible, that you could just take that course of action. So that will be bringing up, or has been bringing up, a lot of holy fire, a lot of, anger, resentment. How could they do this? How could, my friend do this? How could my partner do this? How could the world do this? How could, it's all this feeling of power not being used correctly, which of course always brings us into a space of what is the correct use of our power. And we're really being challenged with that at the moment. So that, if you look at an acronym, WTF, wow, that's fun. I'm saying that a lot at the moment, WTF, and I'm going, wow, this isn't fun. There's so much going on, and it's this holy fire energy, the fire of change, the fire of the irritation, and irritation actually creates friction, which creates change. So this month, though, it's the wisdom of this past friction. What is it that has brought up within you, so that you can kind of see the pattern in your life, the pattern in your world that might just illuminate in front of you, and you'll go, oh, that's the thing I've been dealing with all this time. And until you see something, you can't heal it. And so there will be a lot of clarity and a lot of wisdom in this month, if it hasn't already started to show its face. That will lead into the fourth theme, which is authenticity in your relationships. Because what you'll be finding is that some of the people in your world will be representing the unhealed relationships within your life. So if you've grown up with a dominating mother and an absent father, then you might find in your life dominating friend, absent friend, dominating partner, absent, it will show up. If you've had siblings that have been a certain way, then the people in your life will be reflecting it. And as you see the reflection, and that's where, the previous point, the wisdom, as you see the pattern, you get the wisdom, it will lead you into more authenticity within the relationship with yourself. Because as soon as you see a pattern that has been playing out in front of you, then it's kind of like, oh, this is why I always attract these people. Oh, this is why I'm always in this same situation. And by the way, if this hasn't been happening and you want it to, little tip from me, get some ametrine, because ametrine as a crystal will bring you people that reflect what is in you as well. And so the faults that you see in people, you will notice in yourself. The dynamics that are playing out around you, you will notice in yourself. And what it will do is help you have a more authentic relationship with yourself as you decide who you want to be and how you want to show up. So whilst it's an in-between month, it's kind of a month where there's a lot of, I don't know, like a lot of resettling of our sense of who we are. Because our sense of inner security this year has been challenged through the outer energy of insecurity. And through all of that, I come into the fifth point, which is this yearning, this deep, deep, deep yearning within us all for a return to simplicity, a return to, playing cards at night, doing the simple things, letting go of the stuff and the materialism. But really, that yearning within is to return to what life is all about, which is peace, connection, thriving, yeah, I really feel this yearning of a return to self. So Cancerian month, a lot of water, a lot of emotion, but may it be peaceful, and may it be one where you kind of really recognize that you are going through one of the deepest transformations ever. My sense is that there may have been a lot of chaos in your life that you can't make sense of, or that has been unsettling, bringing up the holy fire. So let that holy fire propel you forward. Just going to draw 3 quick cards from the Sacred Earth Oracle. See, they match my jumper. Feeling this very earthy energy at the moment, and Mother Earth really wanting to bring us back to simplicity as well. Okay, so the first card is fragments. Now, when you see the card, she's got an eye in her hand, and the hand is up in front of her. And that's almost like saying, can I see what's coming? There are parts of me that I can see coming, the parts that are emerging. And maybe there are parts that we're really, really happy to let go of. And so that's the way I'm reading that card for this reading. It's this sense of being able to not fully see, and yet there is a part of us that knows and does see who we are and what we are becoming. And really, I believe the journey of life is coming back to who we already are. And when we are incarnate on the earth, we come in with our soul, we come in with our light, but we come in with a whole set of human circumstances and choices that we've made spiritually, so that we live through it. But it's like we're always trying to uncover the gold and the diamond, and a diamond-like energy of who we are. And that diamond-like energy is the resilience and the resourcefulness and the brightness and the strength and the clarity. So I see that we are coming back to who we are. This card always scares me a little bit, but it says preservation. And if you look at it, it looks a little bit like a Halloween. You see the skull, but what you're seeing there is no adornment. There is this preserving of power, but not worrying about what is there. There is no flesh or anything else on there other than the bare bones. So again, it speaks into that simplicity of life and looking at the bare bones and saying, what are those really simple and basic things that create a sense of strength and a sense of happiness? Interesting. Oh, and in that card too, by the way, there is a child in the womb. So again, this sense of the old and the new, a not, a knowing that there is something new being birthed for the second part of this year. I'll be really interested to see whether you've been experiencing the holy fire as well. And wow, love this one, consistency. And she's holding the sun, which is representative of her eternal spirit. The sun being that part that is always present. So as I always say, even when it's raining and it's cloudy, the sun is always there. And so this, for me, says, just hold on to yourself, hold on to your strength, hold on to the wavering part of you that may not be sure, but know that the soul energy is rising up, and that the soul is soft, it is understanding, it is trusting that even though we're going through human frailties, vulnerabilities, and fears, the spirit inside is eternal. And the life that we are moving into, if we follow our less forcing, more allowing, if we allow the emptiness and the quietness, if we look at our own relationship and being authentically us and working on being with those people in our lives who are authentic as well, then that simplicity that we return to will see us through this next challenging time. That's it from me. Have a beautiful July, and may you be well, may you be happy, may you be at peace.